Hey everyone, I hope you're doing well. Today we're talking about the fourth and final step in how to find the career for you. So far, we've gathered information, we've explored our strengths and interests, and we've researched specific careers. So at this point, you should be ready for step 4, which is to take action. So this is the part where we take everything we've learned up to this point and use it to take action. So for example, let's say I've completed steps 1 through 3 and I am considering being a veterinarian. By the way, it's still okay to have more than one career that you're interested in. If you're passionate about multiple careers at this point, that's fine. You can either try to find a way to pursue both of those or all of those at once, or you can just keep learning about them until you find out which one is the right one for you. But don't be afraid to take action if you're not 100% sure about a career, because sometimes taking action will be the step that helps you learn whether that is really something that you want to do or whether maybe you want to do something else. Okay, so back to our example of me becoming a veterinarian. So according to my research that I did before, it's going to take a bachelor's degree in a science field and a doctorate of veterinary medicine, so 8 total years of college. I've also learned that it's a very competitive field and that I would need to do my absolute best in order to try to stand out. So I would take action by taking as many science and as many veterinary courses as I can in high school, and I would do my best to do as well as I can in every single one of these classes, because it'll help prepare me for college later down the line and then veterinary school in that last 4 years. I would also start volunteering at a local animal shelter, and I would join any type of clubs at my school, like Demons for Shelter Animals, that applied to my career of being a veterinarian. I would do my best to make really good impressions with all my teachers, with the staff at the local animal shelter, and with the sponsors of any clubs that I joined, because I'm probably going to be asking them for a reference letter later in the future, and I want them to be able to say good things about me. Also, you should just try to make good impressions all the time anyways. You should just be a nice person just for the sake of being a nice person. But anyways, it can also help you with reference letters. Another thing I would do is I would create a resume to help me keep track of all my experiences, and then also I'm going to need a resume at some point in time, so that way I can already start on something that I'm going to have to use later for applications and interviews. As I get closer to graduating high school, I would fill out college applications and scholarship applications. I know that 8 years of school is definitely going to be expensive, so I might even consider starting at community college to help save some money on the front of my education. Alright, so those are just some of the steps that I would take in this taking action part of how to find the career for me if I was considering being a veterinarian. I know this might sound like a lot right now, but remember to take it easy on yourself and take things day by day. If you find that pursuing a career is just way too stressful, too overwhelming, or too difficult, then you might want to consider some other options for yourself. Now, that doesn't mean I want you to stop whenever you hit any sort of challenge or a roadblock, but there are going to be some things that maybe you're just not a strong enough science student to complete this career, or not a strong enough math student, or not a strong enough history student. There might be some things that you realize like, hey, this just doesn't really play to my strengths, and I think I would be better served doing something else. Alright, so speaking of maybe considering other options for yourself, while you're doing this take action step, keep an eye out for careers that are similar, maybe not exactly the same thing, but similar to the career that you're looking for. The point here is that just because one career doesn't work out for you, that doesn't mean you have to just abandon that completely and pick something entirely different. There may be something in the same area, the same field, that kind of fits what you would like to do. So as you're taking action, you may learn about careers that you had just never even heard of before, but once you started volunteering at the animal shelter and talking to the veterinarian there, then you learned about this other program. For example, let's say I want to become a veterinarian, and I learned along the way that, oh, there's also a veterinary technician position. And I understand that after doing a little bit of research on that it doesn't require quite as much training or education, and I would actually get to work out in the field and with animals sooner. It wouldn't take me 8 years to get there. So maybe I realized like, hey, that might be a better fit for me. and there you're transitioning to a similar occupation that's very close to your career goal, but you just kind of adjusted your goal a little bit to fit what was actually best for you based on some new information that you learned. Just keep in mind that your end goal does not have to be your only goal. So with that in mind, it's a good idea to evaluate and reevaluate as you go along. So as you're taking action, as you're gaining some new experiences, ask yourself, hey, so with these new things that I've learned and these new experiences that I've gained, do I still feel like this is the right thing for me? And if it is, then that's great. If not, then maybe you need to make some adjustments, or maybe look for something similar, or maybe something completely different. Now, with that said, try to be focused and intentional with your decision making. So it's okay to do things like change your major in college or switch up your whole career plan, but keep in mind that those things are going to cost you time and money. So the most important thing at the end of the day is that you find the right career for you, okay? So if you have to spend a little extra money to get there, if you have to spend some extra time to get there, that should be okay as long as you can afford it. But you should still keep in mind cost and expenses along the way. Okay, so that's it for how to find the career for you. If you have more questions, you can talk to your school counselor or your career coach. But other than that, have a great day and take care.